I would say, first of all, be aware they are being influenced. And it's not just coming through classrooms, it's coming through YouTube, it's coming through TikTok, it's coming through social media. So be aware this is a very different world to the one that existed even 5 or 10 years ago when my own kids were still at college. The world has been transformed, and the influences in our children's lives are pervasive, profound, and powerful. So be aware of that. Secondly, keep lines of communication open with your kids. There's nothing to be gained from cutting off communication with your children. If you're not speaking to them, somebody else is. So I would say keep lines of communication open. Thirdly, be aware they probably think very, very differently about these things to the way you do. There's been a sea change in the way our young people understand identity and sexual politics, etc., over the last 10, 15 years. Be aware of that and be prepared to realize that they're not thinking in the same way that you are. I would also say never give up hope. My mind, when I'm thinking of parenting in general, my mind often goes to the second thief on the cross. Second thief on the cross, if you remember, he's the one who sort of repents at the last minute. And it's very clear that he knows quite a bit of theology. He knows that God's holy. He knows that he's a sinner. He knows that Jesus is dying an undeserved death that day. And most importantly of all, he makes that amazing statement, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. He realizes that Jesus is going to inaugurate his kingdom by going through death, not by escaping from death. Well, when I was faced by parents who were struggling with kids who'd wandered away and what to do with them, I'd always point them to the second thief and say, when does the second thief learn this stuff? It's possible God zapped it into his brain while he's hanging on the cross, but the text doesn't tell us that. And if the text doesn't tell us that, we should look for more mundane reasons. Well, I think what happened was that young man was well taught when he was small. His parents taught him well. They taught him the word of God well. And I would say to parents whose kids are struggling with this, parents whose kids have wandered away, parents whose kids are perhaps deeply immersed in immoral ways of life, don't despair. If you taught your kid well, then the Lord can still use what you taught them at the appropriate moment in time to bring them back. So don't despair. That would be my word. Keep lines of communication open, pray the promises, and don't despair.